Hey, it's Jordan from Aenimus, and you're watching The Offering.
You've been touring for a while with Hypocrisy and Flash God Apocalypse. How is this experience for you?
Uh, it's incredible, honestly. We're a smaller band, so playing to packed out shows is just not something we're used to, and it's been incredible. First show was sold out in LA, and that was like 1,000 cap. And we've actually, on this tour, we've had like 6 or 7 sold out shows. And even when they're not sold out, it's still at least, you know, a few hundred. So it's been an incredible experience for me.
And tonight was packed too,
Yeah,
right?
like it's almost like I'm getting used to that. I don't know if I should be doing that though. I feel kind of spoiled on this tour.
I'm sure there will be more in the future.
That's the goal.
Similar, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so are you very happy with the crowd reaction to the new songs?
Yeah, I feel like other than like a handful of kids every once in a while, like they're new songs to the entire crowd.
Yeah.
We are only playing one old song, which I had nothing to do with. I wasn't on the first album, but all the other songs are new, and yeah, the reactions have been great. A couple pits here and there, which is always nice.
And speaking about the new album, Dreamcatcher just came out in February. Can you tell us a little bit about the songwriting for this album?
It's kind of a semi-conceptual album. There's a handful of songs that pertain to a couple different stories, like The Shining. Why am I drawing a blank? Hannibal series, as well as The Dead Zone. So, yeah, we kind of like lyrically, we try to write a couple of different songs, like through the perspective of a couple different characters pertaining to each story. Um, but musically, it was kind of just like we wanted to, throw in all of our influences and, just write the best record we could, regardless of the concept and everything like that.
So when you started writing, did you already have an idea of what you wanted for this album in terms of music style and sound?
My influences are kind of, changing all the time. I wanted something that kind of hit all the different, all my different tastes and stuff like that. Um, I ended up going over the record after we were done writing, like the bare bones, like guitars and everything like that, and I threw a bunch of like synths and stuff like that, like 80s horror inspired like synth sounds and stuff like that, just to give it a bigger sound. You know what I mean? I think guitars, are awesome, but when you throw like really cool keyboard samples on top of it, and like a lot of the leads will have a unison with a keyboard on top of it, and I just think it adds like a different flavor. And so, yeah, so it was just like taking my influences from like 80s pop music and stuff like that, and different progressive bands like Dream Theater and Rush and stuff like that, but being able to put it in like kind of a death metal package. So,
Right, and in fact, you have a lot of technical prog elements in
yeah.
every song. Would you like to experiment more with that in the future?
Oh, absolutely. I get bored easily, so that's why the songs are like constantly changing and shifting and going through different things. And I try to push myself as a musician as much as I can. So yeah, I think the next record will be even more experimental. Um, maybe be a little bit heavier, influenced by synths and stuff like that. Maybe even longer, cleaner passages. Maybe like a really long 20-minute epic song or something like that. It's just something we haven't done yet. You know what I mean? I would love to just continue experimenting because I don't want to like make Dreamcatcher Part 2. You know what I mean? And some bands can get away with that, and that's cool.
Yeah.
But that's not what I want to do.
Yeah, you do what you would like to listen.
Yeah, I play for myself.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And do you have a favorite song to play live now that you've been doing it for a while?
Yeah. Out of the set right now, my favorite is probably the one we opened with, Between Iron and Silver. I like it a lot because it's very moody in the beginning, and it kind of just like eases me in to playing and kind of eases the crowd, and then it hits. And the guitar solos are really fun to play. Like they're not overly technical, but they're really feelsy. You know, and kind of get into it, and just the mood of that song, like it just feels the best on stage for me. So
I'm
probably that
thinking
one.
about when it all started, what made you decide to become a musician?
Um, I remember exactly where it was. I was in my parents' basement. I was like 8 or 9 years old, and I was hanging out with my friend Peter, who I haven't talked to in decades. Um, but I was looking at the back of the liner notes for Metallica's Master of Puppets, and I saw a picture of Lars Ulrich behind his drum kit in like a sea of people, and we were listening to that album. I was like, man, I really want to do that. You know, it was before I even played anything, but I loved music. Like my dad, he's a musician himself, so I was listening to like Chick Corea as well as like Metallica and Garth Brooks, just everything. And I was just like, I want to do this, you know. And I played in a little band in high school, and we never played any official shows, but we have parties every Friday at my friend's house, and we'd play in front of like people would fill out the room, and I was like, man, this feels good. I can only imagine what it'd be like playing shows, and here I am. So yeah,
And as a young band, what do you find challenging?
on the road,
In,
sleeping.
in general, too, in the music industry, the music scene, it's a bit of mess,
Yeah,
right?
like I think what's difficult, especially this day and age, is like getting people to listen to you because it's so easy to write music and put music out there now.
Mhm.
Like it's great to for all the DIY bands to do that, but at the same time, it's like people are almost jaded now because it's like there's so much music that why are they going to listen to your band? What sets you apart from everybody else? Why should they spend their couple of minutes to even listen to your music? I feel like back in the day you had to be legitimate and also lucky and all that
Yeah.
to make it. And since there was less bands, people would pay attention. But now it's just like it's just so hard to get people to even pay attention. So probably that, just getting people to recognize you and stuff like that.
Do you think social media has been helping you to reach a wider audience?
Yes, absolutely. I feel like this day and age, it's like you can't just tour, 9 months out of the year and expect to grow. It's almost like the opposite. It's like you have to be more choosy, but have like a really strong internet presence. You know, you make posts and stuff like that. And there's a couple bands. There's one in particular I know that I won't name any names, but they post like semi-controversial stuff online, and that's where they get all the attention. And it's almost like through memes and shit like that,
Okay.
they get the attention. So yeah, I think social media, if you can do it right, absolutely will help.
And you have
Plus,
to do it constantly. So
yeah, it's like I almost want to have somebody else do it because I want to practice. You know what I
Right.
mean? I'm like, I want to play my instrument and not just, troll people online or whatever. So, yeah.
So at this point, what are your expectations for the future of the band?
Um, well, hopefully playing shows like this and taking, lucrative tours. Um, yeah, because, we, as a fledgling band, we've played so many, you know, shows that were like for 6 kids, and obviously we want to play for them and put on a good show, but sometimes it's difficult, driving for 8 hours through the snow just to
Right.
play for 2 kids, but this tour's been great. It's kind of like reignited my passion, to play live. So hopefully just tours and more exposure, because like I said, I like playing for a crowd that doesn't know who we are.
Right.
Sometimes I heard a couple comments in the crowd about us, and I know that since we don't have long hair, there's some preconceived notions about our band. But it's nice to just kind of like expose our music to as many new listeners as possible. So hopefully, other awesome tours like this. Really.
Yeah, and now that you're signed to Nuclear Blast,
Yeah.
that would definitely help.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this whole thing is like we're all Nuclear Blast artists,
Right.
you know? And I think if we didn't sign with them, this tour probably wouldn't have happened, you know? So it's all good. Yeah.
So it's obviously still early, but do you think you're gonna go back to writing the new album soon?
Oh, yeah. I have about 2 hours worth of just like riffs and ideas. Like I'm always writing.
Always writing.
You know, like I said, before the album came out, I was already bored of it. You know, because I had heard it a million
Right,
times.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So
You
you
need
know,
new stuff.
yeah, just to keep myself happy. You know, so I'm constantly writing stuff and experimenting with different things. You know, a lot of the times I won't even pick up the guitar. It's like I'll just find cool keyboard samples that like I'll try to get like a certain vibe. For a while, I was writing music that sounded like movie trailers. You know, like just noises and what kind of emotions can I evoke from that. You know, so yeah, we'll see what ends up on the next album. You know.
Good luck with everything, and thank
Thank
you
you.
for the interview.
Hey, thank you. I really appreciate it. It was fun.